Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to unpack the complex world around us and really distill the insights that matter most to you.
Especially for those on the road.
Exactly. Anyone who's faced those relentless demands, battling traffic, hunting for that safe parking spot, or just trying to make ends meet, trucking isn't just a job.
No, it's really a test of grit, resilience, and honestly, constant adaptation. The pressures are
They
immense.
really are. From the physical side, the long hours, to the mental load of all those unpredictable challenges.
It takes a unique kind of strength, day in and day out.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We want to cut through the noise, show you what's really shaping the trucking industry right now.
Right. We'll look at rising costs, new regulations, sure, but also some exciting tech solutions, and importantly, strategies for personal empowerment.
Our goal here, like Hervey from Life, as a trucker often says, is to help you see all angles, understand how these big shifts impact drivers like you, and maybe spotlight some clear pathways to a more secure future.
So yeah, this deep dive is definitely for you. Whether you're a seasoned pro behind the wheel, maybe just thinking about getting started or looking for ways to adapt and thrive in this constantly changing industry.
We want you to feel respected, supported, and armed with the knowledge you need.
Knowledge to drive forward, really, on your own terms.
Okay, so let's get into it. First stop, the wallet. Because right now, one of the biggest squeezes on drivers is the rising cost of equipment. These international tariffs are really hiking up the price of new trucks and trailers.
That's right. And it's looking less like a temporary bump and more like, well, the new normal. Tariffs on key stuff like steel and aluminum, plus imported parts. It directly bumps up manufacturing costs.
Which inevitably gets passed down.
Exactly. And the deeper insight here isn't just trucks cost more, it's how these tariffs are sort of quietly redrawing the lines of competition.
That's a crucial point. For you, maybe as an owner-operator, this isn't just about one expensive purchase. It feels more like systemic pressure, right? What are the ripple effects if you can't afford to upgrade, or for someone trying to break in?
Well, the consequence is pretty stark. For owner-operators already running on, let's face it, razor-thin margins, that brand new rig just gets further out of reach.
You're stuck with older equipment.
Right. And if new is off the table, you're looking at more maintenance costs, more downtime, which kills your earning hours, and lower fuel efficiency. That all hits your bottom line.
And it probably affects driver retention for smaller fleets, too. Good drivers want good trucks.
Absolutely. It subtly shifts power towards the bigger fleets that can absorb these costs or pass them on more easily. It's a fundamental change that maybe doesn't get talked about enough.
So given this tricky financial landscape, how can drivers navigate it? What are some strategies for surviving with an older fleet or planning smarter?
Okay, first thing. Preventative maintenance on what you have is absolutely critical. Always cheaper than a breakdown on the side of the road.
Good point.
Explore lease options, sure, but you have to read that fine print. Understand the full terms end to end.
No surprises.
None. And if you're buying used, never ever skip a thorough pre-purchase inspection. Find a good mechanic you trust. Also, maybe look into group buying programs or co-ops. Sometimes pooling resources can get you better rates.
So it's about being strategic, not just saving a dollar here or there.
Exactly. Protecting your business in the long run.
Okay, moving beyond equipment costs, the regulatory world seems to be getting, well, more complicated, fragmented even. And that hits drivers' bottom lines and, frankly, their peace of mind. We're seeing some concerning shifts with state versus federal rules.
Yeah, this really brings the big picture down to the individual driver's experience. We've got a couple of big examples where state policies are having these far-reaching effects, creating a real maze for anyone involved in interstate commerce.
Let's start down south, in Florida. They're making headlines because some major way stations are essentially becoming immigration checkpoints.
Right. It's part of a wider crackdown, and officials are now checking documentation specifically for immigration status at these way stations.
It seems like a blending of roles, doesn't it? Way stations are usually about weight and safety.
That's the core issue. Adding immigration checks, which is typically federal territory, slows down inspections significantly for all drivers, regardless of status.
So longer waits, lost hours of service.
And a lot of fear and stress. Even legal residents or citizens who might have immigrant backgrounds could face extra scrutiny or wrongful stops. Critics are definitely arguing it blurs state and federal lines, basically turning way stations into mini border patrols.
So supporters might frame it as protecting roads and jobs, but critics see it as political. From the driver's seat, though, politics aside, It's just another delay, another hassle.
Pretty much. As one driver apparently put it, I just want to drive, not play 20 questions. You
Haha.
know? For listeners, what's the immediate takeaway?
Good question. What should you do?
Know your rights. That's number one. Keep all your documents, license, registration, medical card, proof of status, if applicable, accessible, and perfectly organized.
Okay.
For fleet owners, it's probably wise to audit your team's documents proactively. And, depending on your routes, maybe even consider rerouting around Florida for now, if that's feasible. It's something to watch in the courts, too. Legal challenges seem likely.
Right, that makes sense. Now, if we connect this idea of state-level rules impacting everyone, we absolutely have to talk about California, their Clean Truck Check program.
Yes, CARB, California's Air Resources Board. They're now requiring all heavy-duty trucks, and that includes trucks registered out of state, even from Canada or Mexico, to pass smog checks every 90 days.
Every 90 days, wow.
Yeah. And it involves OBD checks, those onboard diagnostic scans, plus online reporting, and there are hefty fines if you don't comply.
And this is where things get even more interesting, because the EPA is pushing back.
That's right. The Federal Environmental Protection Agency is actually proposing to disapprove these rules, specifically for out-of-state trucks. Their argument hinges on the Commerce Clause of the Constitution.
The part that says states can't just throw up roadblocks to interstate trade.
Exactly. The EPA is basically saying California might be overstepping its authority, potentially violating the Clean Air Act, too, and putting an unfair burden on small fleets just passing through.
You can see why. Imagine trying to keep track of potentially 50 different state emissions rules. It sounds like a logistical nightmare.
It really does, and truckers are, understandably, frustrated. We're hearing things like, why do I have to follow their rules just driving through? Or, it's just getting harder and harder to run a small fleet.
Some feel it's less about clean air and more about, well, control and fees.
That's one perspective. On the flip side, California's CARB insists this is about saving lives, ensuring everyone driving on their roads meets the same environmental standards, and they're asserting a state's right to protect its air quality.
So it's a fundamental conflict.
It is. Between state autonomy and the need for a smooth, unified national transportation system. This isn't just a California issue. It sets a precedent. It directly affects your ability to run smoothly across state lines in the future.
These policy fights, the economic pressures, they aren't just abstract concepts. They feed directly into the intense daily grind, the operational headaches that are causing serious driver burnout.
Absolutely. And if you want a prime example of that relentless stress, look no further than trying to operate in, say, New York City.
Ah, the concrete jungle, infamous for truckers.
Totally. The routes are unpredictable, the congestion is constant, delivery windows are impossibly tight, and then you have what some drivers call unloading nightmares. Docks just not designed for modern trucks or efficient unloading.
It just wears you down, physically and mentally.
Profoundly. I mean, can you picture navigating those narrow, jammed streets, finally getting to the dock, then waiting hours, only to be told the freight isn't ready or there's no room or whatever?
And your clock is ticking the whole time.
Exactly. You're losing precious hours of service, your whole schedule is shot. Then, the fun part, trying to find a legal, safe place to park overnight in a city that basically hates trucks. It's a brutal cycle.
No wonder drivers are refusing those routes. It sounds like a mental health hazard.
It absolutely is. The constant unpredictability, the lack of respect for the driver's time, it pushes people to the brink.
But what's interesting, and maybe hopeful, is that solutions are popping up from within the industry.
Yeah.
Companies realizing that maybe driver well-being isn't something you have to sacrifice. Like Lem Trucking.
Yes, Lemma is a great example. They essentially built their company model on prioritizing drivers by actively avoiding the New York City chaos.
How does that work in practice?
They focus on dedicated lanes that bypass the worst of it, predictable schedules, transparent pay, which is huge, and critically real dispatch support. People who've actually been in the cab, who understand the challenges.
So they make decisions that actually benefit the driver. Less stress, more home time.
Precisely. We heard from a couple of their drivers. Corey J., 7 years OTR, said his dedicated lane avoiding the 5 boroughs meant way less stress, more time home. Elena M., a solo driver, said basically the same thing, a huge drop in drama and dispatch games.
That really shows that you don't have to just suffer through it. Choosing the right company, one that respects your time and well-being, can make a massive difference to your quality of life on the road.
Definitely. Which transitions us nicely into the empowerment side of things. How can you, as a driver, take more control of your journey, maybe future-proof your career a bit?
Yeah, because we're seeing some innovative tech solutions aimed specifically at the little guy, the independent driver, that seem genuinely game-changing.
Things like TruckSpot.
Right, addressing those core problems.
Mm.
The lack of safe parking, the fatigue from chasing loads, the mental burnout. These aren't just annoyances, they're dangerous.
TruckSpot is a freight tech startup tackling these head-on. Their app lets drivers reserve secure parking spots, think gated, patrolled, well-lit areas.
Peace of mind right there.
Huge peace of mind. And they're also integrating load board searches, so you can plan better, maybe stage yourself strategically for your next load while you're resting securely.
That sounds like it gives independent drivers back a lot of control. How's it impacting their day-to-day?
People using it say it's transformative. No more frantic searching for parking at the end of your day. Less stress, obviously. Better planning ability. It kind of levels the playing field a bit, gives solo drivers some of the planning power larger fleets have.
And it was designed by people who get it, who understand life in the cab.
That's what they emphasize. People who understand the reality, living across different states, dealing with these issues firsthand. It's already lived in several states, working with existing truck stops and yards.
Now, I can hear some skepticism. Why pay for parking when it used to be free?
Sure, that's a fair question. But the early adopters seem to view it as a cost of doing business now. One that buys you safety, saves you time, and eliminates a massive headache and source of stress.
So it's not just about parking. It's about regaining some control, some independence in your daily operations, managing your time for yourself, not just for the shipper.
Exactly. And this whole idea of taking control, being savvy, it even extends back to how you enter the industry in the first place. We heard about that trucking school in Modesto, California, Truck Nation School.
Oh, yeah, that was a terrible story. They just shut down abruptly, overnight.
Just like that. Left dozens of students completely stranded, no warning, no refunds, no clear path to getting their CDL.
Wow. That really underscores a potential trust problem in CDL training, doesn't it? These students are out thousands of dollars, careers on hold, confidence shaken. Just awful.
It really is. Many had paid up front, maybe even had jobs lined up contingent on getting that CDL. It's a harsh reminder that, sadly, lack of oversight can let predatory practices flourish and derail people's dreams.
So for you listening, if you're thinking about CDL training, what's the lesson here?
Do your homework. Thoroughly vet any school. Check reviews, real reviews. Understand their accreditation. Talk to former students if you can. Don't let your ambition be exploited by some fly-by-night operation.
And for those poor students affected by the Truck Nation closure, what can they do?
Immediate steps would be filing complaints with the state oversight body in California, that's the BPPE, the Bureau for Private Post-Secondary Education. Maybe look into class action possibilities, and definitely start looking for reputable transfer schools that might accept some of their previous training hours or payments.
It's just another example, albeit a painful one, reinforcing that broader philosophy we hear from experienced folks like Hervey. Drivers need to be smart, plan ahead, and really look out for their own future on their own terms.
Right. It's not just about getting the license. It's about building a sustainable career after that. What happens next?
So whether it's avoiding a bad school or navigating market ups and downs, the theme is planning for your future. Which actually leads us to a really interesting, maybe even revolutionary way drivers are building that resilience, using new tech to diversify income.
Exactly. This is about shifting the mindset, managing your time, not just for shippers and brokers, but investing some of that time, especially off-duty time, in yourself. Learning new skills, building extra income streams.
Like the stuff Life as a Trucker is promoting, helping drivers use AI.
Yeah, that's a key part of their commitment now. They've been helping truckers since 2008, but now they're actively training drivers on how to use artificial intelligence, AI tools to create recurring online income.
Recurring income, that sounds like a powerful shield against industry volatility.
It absolutely is. Think of it as a buffer. Freight rates go up, freight rates go down. The economy booms, it busts. Having another income stream when you build online gives you protection. It can help you retire when you want to, not when the industry dictates. It protects you if, heaven forbid, your main trucking gig disappears.
So it's really about financial independence, gaining control over your career path in a deeper way.
That's the goal. Transforming challenges into opportunities by actively using your time, learning new skills. It's like investing in your own future, ensuring you can keep driving forward truly on your terms, no matter what the road throws at you.
Are there resources people can check out if they're curious about this?
Definitely. Sites like retirefromtrucking.com offer free guides and info on AI training specifically for truckers. Truckersidehustle.com focuses on AI tools you can use while trucking. And lifeaitrucker.com has more general tips and industry news.
Okay, so wrapping this up, we've seen an industry facing some serious headwinds. You've got tariffs pushing up equipment costs, this complex web of state versus federal regulations causing headaches, and the sheer daily grind leading to burnout.
Big challenges, no doubt. But crucially, we've also seen an industry that's innovating. There are real, tangible opportunities for drivers like you to take control.
That seems to be the common thread, right? The power you have to adapt, to learn, to build a more resilient future for yourself.
Absolutely. Whether that's making smart tech choices like using Truck Spot for parking, or carefully selecting a company like Lem Trucking that genuinely values your well-being, or even learning new skills to build online income streams.
Your journey behind the wheel can be more than just hauling freight.
It really can. It can be a path to genuine independence, making sure you're the one steering your destiny, not just reacting to whatever comes next.
So maybe the final thought for you to consider is this. In a world where external forces are always trying to dictate the terms, how can you redefine what success truly means for your life and your career in trucking, ensuring you always drive forward on your terms?
Something to think about.
Definitely. Think about that until next time on The Deep Dive.